Alright, welcome back to another new episode of the Rebirth of Dave. We are here on episode 31, the third to last episode of the season. We're almost done with the season. We've got this pay-per-view, we've got our last three shows, our last three Danger Zone TVs, and then it is the 15th annual WrestleRave, and that will be the end of season 1, and so yeah, maybe I was gonna talk about what my plans were after season 1 on this episode, but I feel like I should save that for the WrestleRave episode. But basically to give not like a little hint. Okay, the series is not gonna stop per se after season 1 of Dave. However, after season 1, I'm going to start a new Cornellverse series. And then, I don't know if I'll have Season 2 run along with that one, or if we'll go a season of the new save and then come back to Dave and then finish a season of Dave and just keep going back and forth. I don't really know yet, but basically once this season ends, I kind of want to do like a new beginning of 64 of the channel of some sorts, because my real world saves have just failed. Each one of them has failed pretty badly. The 4 brand failed, the 2016 save failed, and now it's looking like the Yes Mod save is going to fail simply because I just don't like it. Obviously, that's not the only reason I haven't been uploading. I don't even know when my last upload was. It's been months. But long story short is that the job I have is pretty time consuming, believe it or not, and juggling a job, going to the gym, and going to pro wrestling training is a lot harder to record videos when you're doing that stuff. So yeah, I'm not abandoning the channel. I won't ever abandon you guys without making a retirement video. So yeah, but basically that is just where I've been busy with work. Even Ben knows this. Really, the only TEW I've been playing outside of the YouTube is like my one save, or it's like we have 2 saves going, but we get, me and Ben, the British guy from the 4 brand save, we get on and we do like a week of each in one sitting, and it still takes us forever because I have no time to fucking do anything. I was gonna DM him today, like, hey, I got the day off. For once, I have a whole day off, and let's get on. But I felt like it's time to do another fucking recording. It is time for Soul Survivor, boys. Look at this logo I made. This one is my favorite so far. I say that every time, but this one is now my favorite logo I've made. I love it. Let's run down the card. I'll do it in order. We're going to open the show with the Outcast Open Challenge. It is Java and Acid, the guys that nobody likes, are holding an open challenge to anybody that wants to answer. It will then be Ernest, Youngman versus Busta, Capp. Again, it has been months. Let me try to remember the storyline. I remember it being Real recognized as Real. Like, Busta Capp called him Real. It took him, I think it took him 2 hits to knock him down or something. So, there we go. Then we have the tag match between the Dirty White Boys and the Dallas Stars. Then it is the number 1 Contenders match between King Boone and Dean McWade. And King Boone if you forgot, because I don't blame you, King Boone made a royal decree challenging Dean McWade for a number 1 Contenders match on the week 4 of August show. And then the following week, Phil's like, don't fucking do that. I'll give it to you this time simply because I was going to have a number 1 Contenders match anyway, but there is going to be a catch that I announced on the pay-per-view. So yeah, there's a catch. We don't really know what that entails. That could really mean anything. So, ooh. And then our semi-main, no, not our semi-main. Then we have Troy Tornado versus Shady K for a whole kind of, what was I thinking? SWF kind of revisiting rivalry, where Troy Tornado has just gone fully fucking heel and just shit on the company, and now he's getting nuclear heat, and his match tonight is against Shady K. However, he continuously calls out Chris Caulfield. Maybe that has something for the future. And then our semi-main is the team of Doug Peak and Tribal Warrior versus Flex and Pecs. Totally honest with you guys, I do not remember what this feud was about. I think it was just kind of basic Flex and Pecs being annoying assholes, and these two have had enough of it. So there's that. And then our main event, the 3 versus 3 elimination match with title implications, which basically means it is Pablo Rodriguez, Cali Slick, and Knuckles. No, I did not build up aces high enough to main event a show. I was so close. It did not happen. Versus Chris Caulfield, Frankie Perez, and Akima Brave. It is elimination rules, and basically, if the Bible Bashers win, none of those 3 men can challenge for the Dave World title as long as Pablo holds it. That includes if he loses it and wins it back. When he wins it back, if Pablo is the champion, they cannot challenge for it for the rest of the time. If the defenders win, then the amount of survivors on the defenders team then get a world title match at the WrestleRave against Pablo. So it could be a one-on-one, it could be Chris Caulfield versus Pablo Rodriguez, or it could be a 4-way between Pablo, Chris, Akima, and Frankie. So yeah, a lot of stakes on that Sole Survivor match in the main event. That's really all we're going to go through before the show, so let's get the show. The booking analysis is just that I had to change the pre-booking, don't worry. 85 to open the show, just kind of a generic, not a hype get over, but kind of a cheap little get the crowd off to a hot start kind of angle here. It's just them kind of doing like a, not a back and forth promo, but like a hype video package between the two factions. So, yeah, that's all this is. There's no script, nothing I have planned out for this. It is now time for the Outcast Open Challenge. We have the Outcasts in the ring. They are very pumped to see who accepts, and they are no longer pumped once they find out that their opponents are going to be newly signed to Danger and Violence Extreme, the team of Ash Campbell and Nelson Callum, the Philly Blondes. The Philly Blondes will be making their debut here tonight on Sole Survivor, as my dogs absolutely fucking mark out for them. The Philly Blondes are already over with the crowd. You love to see it. I don't get why they have to wait till I actually start recording to bark. I spent a good 2 hours on this computer, not a peep, and then they go when I start. So I'm not even gonna. I just want to get a video up for you guys. So I'm sorry you're gonna have to deal with dog barks. So I'm not gonna bother waiting and editing them out and going downstairs and playing with them for a few minutes. I'm not gonna bother. So you guys are just gonna have to deal with them. Sorry. Then the match happens, and what a surprise. The Outcasts job to the Philly Blondes, and the story of the match is that Java basically fucks it up again for Acid, and they lose the match. Nelson Callum got a 63. He's really going crazy now. He's starting to piss me off a little. Oh my god, these fucking dogs. These fucking dogs. What the hell was that? Are they fighting? Jesus. Oh my god. Alright. The Philly Blondes absolutely steal the show in their debut. 63. Nelson Callum might be faster. We might never have a Philly Blondes team run. They might just debut, and then I'll run an angle like, hey, we debuted to get signed. We're not going to be a team, boys. Like, holy shit, 63. Fuck yeah, match got a 56, but that's because no one likes the Outcasts. Alright, next up, it is Ernest Youngman versus Busta Capp. Again, I forgot about I have to, with my product-based, I have to have a car crash, or I think it's card crash or hardcore, wild brawl or hardcore, and a steal the show, and I usually go car crash and wild brawl, and I forgot that you can't double up on those. This was the wild brawl, so I think it kind of got a slightly worse rating than what it was supposed to get. While this is the closest that Ernest Youngman has come to a loss so far, it's still not that close of a match. I feel like I say that a lot with guys that I try to push with like a dominant streak, is that each match progressively gets more and more difficult, but we're still in the phase right now where his matches are not close per se. Like Busta does get a few moments to shine, but Youngman is in control for about 75% of the match. The match ends after he hits 2 consecutive hits on Busta Capp. It's not that he needs to, but because of what happened on Dave, where I believe he hit one of them and Busta Capp managed to get to his feet, I believe that is the story. He does it just so he won't get to his feet this time, and he gets the victory, of course. 8 minutes and 3 seconds. We then have the Dallas Stars. Before the match begins, the Dallas Stars make their entrance, and before the match begins, you can see that Tennessee Williams slips a few dollars to our referee over here, this guy who I've hired to play a referee in an angle, because I set all of my refs to referee and it won't let me use them in angles. So there you go. I guess his gimmick got great, so whatever. I made a render for him too. I made the fucking ref render. So yeah, he slips a few dollars to the ref, and then the referee tells the ring announcer to announce that this match will now be held under the official rules of New York City Wrestling. Massive heat for Williams and Dylan. So basically, this is going to be the first normal rules match in Dave V2 history. I assume probably even Dave V1 history. Yeah. So we are going to have a tag rules match. And why on earth would Tennessee Williams and Marshall Dillon want a regular rules match? Well, that is because it just fucked with the Dirty White Boys. Basically, due to the rules being in place, Greasehog tries to grab weapons and gets yelled at. Lead Belly almost gets counted out a couple of times. The Dallas Stars are pretty much in control of the match until the Dirty White Boys remember, oh wait, we used to wrestle in CGC. They start to get some headway, and it ends up with Dylan slamming a chair into Lead Belly, or no, not Lead Belly, Greasehog. He slams a chair into Greasehog while Lead Belly is getting yelled at by the refs. So a fuck finish. That is the whole gimmick, is that they paid to have rules in place for a fuck finish, and William picks up the pin due to the distraction of the ref. Next segment, 60. But after the match, Marshall Dillon and Tennessee Williams continue to beat the piss out of the Dirty White Boys, and the segment ends with Marshall Dillon choke slamming them, doing a double choke slam of the Dirty White Boys through the announcer's table, writing them off. The Dirty White Boys' contract are coming up, and I thought, well, I don't have any plans for them at the WrestleRave. I'll just let their contracts expire because they're pretty old. They're in their 40s, and I got more people I'd rather sign. They had a good run here in Dave V2 for what they did, but everything comes to an end. So 53 to write off the Dirty White Boys. It is my fucking gimmick refreshed. Give me a second. My script refreshed. Not a script. Shut up. So we then have Phil VIbert coming out to announce what the catch is, and the catch is that it is going to be a three-way match. It is going to be a three-way match with another new signing to Dave here, Raphael. Raphael surprisingly will fit the Dave criteria, I think. Oh shit, I think. And yeah, I feel like having a fabulous heel, solo fabulous heel, would get some good heat. So it will be King Boone versus Dean McWade versus Raphael in a triple threat match, number one contenders match. And in the end, King Boone picks up the victory. He pins Dean McWade. Not Raphael. He pins Dean McWade after his finisher, and King Boone is now the number one contender for the television championship. 52 here. Next up is the Shady K Troy Tornado match. Gets a 64. Troy Tornado picks up the victory. He's booed the whole time. He was a tweener for a little bit there, but he is a full-on fucking heel now. Troy goes over Shady. Not much else of note, really, other than they got a fucking 64. Hell yeah. Then it is the Doug Peak and Tribal Warrior versus Flex and Pecs match. And I'm sure everyone kind of guessed who was going over. It's the baby faces. As I had this set to steal the show, and they did overperform, so good on them. Doug Peak pinned Flex with the House of Horrors after 15 minutes. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of this feud. No real post-show blow-off either. So finally, it is time for the main event, but before the main event can get underway, as the Bible Bashers are making their entrance, they are stopped by Phil VIbert before they can make it to the ring. They're like on the entrance ramp, and Phil has a mic, and he says, yeah, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this tonight. Aces, Ernest, to the back. If I see either of your faces here tonight, then you're fired. You're out of the company. You're fired. If you ever come back, I'll have you arrested. All right, get the hell out of the fucking arena. And that is game changing for the Bible Bashers, as that was probably Pablo's idea there. So yeah, 86 for that segment. And it is time for the main event. I will have the entire thing at the bottom, or in the black there, blacked out, as I did not write anything out for the main event. However, I will sum it up. Pretty much, you can tell off the bat that their game plan was really reliant on having those people at ringside, as within the match goes 14 minutes, 50 seconds, and within the first 5 minutes, it is just the defenders kind of showing off, and they end up pinning Cali Slick. Cali Slick was eliminated first, and then the match becomes a 2v2, as Cali Slick is leaving, he takes out Frankie Perez. So it's not, Frankie Perez doesn't get eliminated, my bad. Cali Slick gets eliminated, and he pretends to exit, and then he runs around, pulls Frankie off the apron, beats the shit out of him before he's escorted by the referees. So then for a little bit here, Frankie Perez is out of action. It then goes to a 2v2 for a good little bit. Frankie Perez is taken out. Like, I don't know. Cali Slick probably fucking, like, choked him out with a kendo stick or something, or a belt or something. I don't know. Like, he's out for a good little bit there. And then eventually Chris Caulfield then pins Knuckles, and Pablo Rodriguez is left alone 3-1. Chris Caulfield's egging him on, and then all of a sudden, from behind, out of nowhere, it is Troy fucking Tornado. Troy Tornado runs in, costs Chris Caulfield his spot, like, hits Akima Brave. Pablo rushes in, hits his finisher. Chris Caulfield gets eliminated there. And then after Caulfield's eliminated, Troy Tornado takes him out to the ring and hits a painful procedure, his finisher to Chris Caulfield on the open concrete. At this point, Frankie Perez slides into the ring, and it is a 2v1 where Pablo Rodriguez actually has control, because it is kind of a 1v1 here. It is Pablo versus Frankie, and then eventually Akima Brave gets the hot tag, and it looks like Akima's going to pick up the victory for the team. It's going to be a 3-way at the pay-per-view at the WrestleRave. Akima Brave picks him up for a powerbomb, and then Pablo Rodriguez fucking rakes the eyes, gets a really quick roll-up, and then it is 1 versus 1. Troy Tornado really screwed over the defenders here. It is now 1v1 between Pablo and Frankie. Pablo and Frankie then have a one-on-one match for a good, 7 minutes. And then in the end, Pablo tries everything in the books. He tries raking the eyes. He tries low blows. Frankie dodges all of it. Moves that obviously are still legal, but they're really, underhanded tactics. Frankie Perez overcomes the fucking odds of Pablo Rodriguez. Troy Tornado screwing over his tag partner. And finally, in the end, Frankie Perez manages to hit whatever his finisher is. It doesn't say listed here. He hits his finisher on Pablo Rodriguez, gets the victory, and pre-booked already for the annual WrestleRave next month will be Frankie Perez and Pablo Rodriguez for the Dave World Championship. Boom. That is how we end the show with a nice 72 there. There goes Theo again. Got a nice 74 in total. 74 in total. I believe the 2 angles probably helped out there. The main event could have done better, but again, it was a 3v3 elimination match with a couple of guys that aren't too over, like Knuckles and Cali Slick. But yeah, still pretty good shit there. I'm going to give Frankie's going to get some props. Pablo's going to get some props. Who else? It was really just them that kind of performed well. And let's... You know what? Let's give Akima some good... He gets the great... Oh, no. He gets the awesome. He gets the hug. He gets the great. Make speech. Boom. I missed the middle one. Oh, well, I missed the middle one. All right, cool. Chance, you're looking mighty nice there, bro. Yo. All right. Show was awesome. Hell yeah. So I forgot that I had planned to write off the Dirty White Boys. So I am going to withdraw my offers before they accept them. So yeah. I don't think I intentionally planned to write... Excuse me. I don't think I intentionally planned to write off the Dirty White Boys, but after I realized what I booked, and then the timing of their contracts coming up literally in between simming the last episode of Dave and this pay-per-view, I felt like it was kind of fitting just to, like, you know, the contracts are coming up, put them through the tables, it's over, or hopefully... Alright, cool. I got worried there that the fucking Soul Survivor, the message there was going to be, spoil something, but I don't actually have anything to spoil. Let's real quick check traditionally where this ranked. This was one of our better shows, obviously. So, yeah, ranks number 5, I guess. Maybe T3, actually. T3. How the fuck did Doubleheader Day 2 do so much better than Doubleheader Day 1? God, oh man. What happened on that show that was so fucking, apparently, shit. Oh, yeah, it was Pablo versus King Boone in the main event. That'd probably do it, yeah. And then it was Pablo versus Troy. I wonder why that happened, huh? That was really weird, That's real. How did that happen? So yeah, there is the fucking gimmick. What? That doesn't even... 64, you have never changed on your... fucking... 2 years on YouTube, you still haven't improved that much. Yeah, so that is the pay-per-view, and it is only 2 more episodes until the end of the season of Dave. As we get closer to the WrestleRave, I'll know what more I want to do with the channel. I'm almost certain that this Yes Mod save is going to end. I don't vibe with it. I love the idea of having your guys' input. I love the idea of having fan input on what series I should do. But, really, it was like the least mod I wanted to do on the poll. And I just put it on the poll. And it was like, okay, whatever, I'll do the mod. It won't be that bad, right? And it's just such a boring time period to me. Like, it's not outwardly terrible. The roster's fine. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I just don't want to book the Yes mod. It's just not interesting time period for me. I might return to it eventually if I ever get the itch for it. But it's looking like that save is going to end prematurely, just like all my other real-world saves. I have a couple of ideas in mind to replace it. But as of right now, the only things that are set in stone is the the new Seaver save that is going to come after the end of Season 1 of Dave. And, yeah, that's the only thing that's set in stone right now. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all come back for the next episodes of Danger Zone TV.